The Missouri Tigers traveled to Lexington from the Show Me State, and the Wildcats showed them 90 points in the SEC home opener here in Rupp Arena. You liked that, didn't you? That was right off the cuff. Did you catch that? Show Me State showed them 90 points. Sure. Anyway, it was a fun night in Rupp. Right behind us, the Cats did not have a do with the arrow, but it didn't matter. Tre Mitchell stepped up and played all but 22 seconds in the game, taking MVP honors just like we all predicted. 20 points, 14 rebounds. 4 other Wildcats joined him in double figures. Who did we have? We had Antonio Reeves with 14, DJ Wagner with 16.
No. Off the cuff.
Off the cuff. Aaron Bradshaw with 10. Rob Dillingham with 23.
Game high.
23. Had a few fouls. We'll get to that in a minute. But I think I nailed the big stuff right there. Killed that intro. But like I said, Cats are 2-0, moving on. Just got it done against the Missouri team that threatened them. It was never really in jeopardy. I think Missouri led for like 50 seconds. But it stayed just close enough that it wasn't a blowout. But the Cats got it done. I think we should start with Tre Mitchell since he was the big story of the game. He got the MVP honors out here. Talk to Jack Givens. I'll talk to Jack Pilgrim first. What did you think about Tre Mitchell showing up all but 40 minutes after a game where he just cramped up in Missouri, could barely walk? He came right back and answered the bell again.
It kind of felt like we knew what this game was going to be before it started. Gloomy, rainy, disgusting outside. Tuesday night, Lexington. Hangover possibility after a big win in Gainesville, looking ahead to College Station. If there was one player you expected to kind of reel everything in and say, all right, guys, let's focus on the today, it's a guy like Tre Mitchell, and opened up with back-to-back threes to get things rolling, and that just really asserted his dominance against, a smaller team, although there's one like 7'9" guy that was randomly out there. Talking about interesting looking human beings, I know we'll get to that in a minute with Missouri, but I mean,
nice way to put it.
You go to like Planet Fitness, it looks like Dennis Gates handpicked like 5 of the best guys at Planet Fitness and said, let's go play an SEC road game. But I digress. Tre Mitchell was awesome, and in a game where you needed that veteran leadership, he was kind of the anchoring piece alongside, one of 5 players total in double figures, 2 and 20 with 20 points. Just unbelievable all-around effort, even though it was kind of a groggy night in Rupp Arena.
And his leadership just shows so much too. We saw the thing that went viral with him and Reeves in Gainesville, that moment where they had their high five, but he does that so many times throughout games. There's moments where the freshmen might pout a little bit. He'll lift their chin. He's, when they might be sluggish, he's clapping. He dove on a ball to save the cover at the end of the game. It's not just what he's bringing in the points and the rebounding. He is really doing everything and leading this team, and I don't think they'd be here without him.
I would like to have Tre Mitchell read me a bedtime story to sleep, because his voice is don't look at me like that. His voice is very soothing. The way he narrated that Florida recap, I thought was beautiful. He's probably the only guy on the team that you could have do that. But
the Journey video,
yes. It was great after that Florida recap. But Tre Mitchell we're seeing the best version of Tre Mitchell right now. 4th straight game in double figures in rebounds, 3rd double-double in the last 4 games, season-high 14 rebounds. He's hitting threes. He's making the right plays on offense. For some reason, Missouri tried to play one possession of zone defense. Guess what happened? Tre Mitchell threw a pass right into Aaron Bradshaw for a dunk, and Missouri didn't do it the rest of the game. He's the most efficient player for Kentucky right now. I think I said at the very beginning that he's Kentucky's best player then. I still think right now he is Kentucky's best player, and it's because of just what he does all around. He even had a nice block where I think he got beat off the dribble and pretty much pinned a guy off the backboard. So we're seeing peak Tre Mitchell right now, and it's leading to a very, very fun style of basketball for Kentucky.
Almost had to throw hands over here in this corner right here too when Missouri was getting a little shovey there.
Yeah.
The other veteran, Antonio Reeves, scored but did not make a 3. He went 0 for 5. That's rare for him. And Tre Mitchell said in the interview after the game that if he knows Antonio, like he thinks he knows Antonio, he's heading straight to the Joe Kraft Center right now to start shooting. So, Reeves still filled it up. He's dunking. Constantly. I don't know where that came from, but an 0 for 5 night, uncharacteristic for him, but he still found other ways.
And I think that's the story of this team, right? You have a night where Antonio Reeves isn't playing like Antonio Reeves, and you can lean on Rob Dillingham, who Dennis Gates said was the best ISO player in college basketball. I think our eyes are telling us that is probably the case. Reed Sheppard, very quiet 3 points, but impacts the game in other ways. You just go down the list. It's every single night with this team. You never have to lean on one guy. Look at that story of the Florida win down in Gainesville where Aaron Bradshaw was unplayable for 31 minutes, and Cal basically had to say, I am benching you. Don't smart off to me. This isn't AAU anymore. And then the last 9, he just figures it out mentally and becomes SEC Freshman of the Week. That's what this team is capable of, because you don't have to lean on one guy. If Aaron Bradshaw isn't picking up the slack for 31 minutes, you have Ugo coming in and making an impact. You have, whomever. The list goes on, and you can never last year it felt like if Antonio Reeves wasn't scoring, the team was cooked. This year, if Antonio Reeves isn't scoring, you have 6 other guys you could lean on to score 20-ish points, and that's what's scary about this team.
This game had a lot of runs. I think first half, Dillingham hits a 3. They put him up 14, and then Kentucky goes 10 minutes. I think they had 3 baskets to finish the half. Close game at the half. But then Missouri returns the favor. Last 10 minutes of the second half, Missouri couldn't find anything. So it's like they were right there, but they couldn't. Please have all the stats you'd like.
From the 17-minute mark of the second half to around 1:30 in the second half, Kentucky's lead was from 7 to 11 points that entire 16-minute span. No team got on a run to go push. Kentucky couldn't shut it closed, and Missouri couldn't really scrap back and get to that last bit. So I think it says a little bit about Kentucky that they probably, the defense held up kind of at the end. Like you said, Missouri went, 10 minutes without a shot there at the end. So just a very, I don't know, the defense I thought was the most impressive part of just that last bit of the run there, because the offense was cooking pretty much the first 10, from the first 10 minutes they had 35 points, I think, and then it still kind of progressed along until that, they had that the drought there in the first half. But the defense at the end there I thought was awesome. We can talk about, Nick Honor or whoever. I don't think he was that great. He had a couple of good shots at the end there, but
be careful. He's my new favorite player in basketball. So be very careful what you say about Nick Honor. I love that guy.
You can have him then, because you can pick him up and he can be your starting point guard on your YMCA team if you want. But the defense at the end there I was really impressed with.
Yeah, they picked it up and said defense is going to be a problem for this team for a long time, maybe all year. But they did improve in the second half, got out in transition. That helped, 15 transition points in the second half. But now let's talk about Nick Honor and just Missouri as their appearance. They just have a lot of unique body type. The 7'5" guy that used to be at Arkansas, we remember him. I think he even played well when Arkansas was here. You don't see a lot of 7'5" guys running around. That was unique. Nick Honor, you don't see a lot of point guards built like him, and I loved watching him play basketball. Raymond Felton.
Jameer Nelson.
I think he went 2 for 8. Part of the reason I liked him is he was missing them. No hesitation in those 3-pointers. I don't even think he looked at the rim on a few of them before he let go. One of them, he had 1 foot behind the 3-point line, 1 over it. My man was firing, and I enjoyed watching him play basketball.
Yeah.
I know.
We had a lot of fun just enjoying him enjoy himself on the floor, because that dude was just getting them shot. It was a good Sunday morning at LA Fitness, and my guy was looking to get a good run in after a good night partying and eating Indies at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, he was needing a good little Sunday morning stroll and pickup game, and that's exactly how I envision Nick Honor.
It reminded me.
Basketball has got plenty of people walking around looking like machines, and all they do is work out. I like that there's people that give the regular guy hope, and that's why I enjoyed watching him play basketball.
It reminded me of, if you put Honor next to their 7'5" guy, it reminds me of that picture with Manute Bol and Muggsy Bogues next to each other. That's what I feel like it would look like. So I don't know if that's good or bad. It kind of felt like more of a circus act at times, but they were honestly not a bad basketball team.
Really.
We're kind of pooping on them here a little bit, but Missouri played a pretty decent game for, coming in as, a 13-point underdog or something like that. So
4 out of 5 in a row, come to Rupp Arena. Place ended up being packed. Weather made it a little bit of a slow start, but as the game got going, this is a tough environment, and they hung with the Cats. So we're laughing, but Missouri's not a bad basketball team.
And Honor had the ankle socks on, and I feel like you just can't be a D1 basketball player, a legitimate D1 basketball player, if you're wearing ankle socks. I can't see your ankles if you want to be out here, because that really is kind of buying into the LA Fitness type vibe. So.
If I may pay him a compliment, he was getting around where we wanted to go. Our little freshman, when he lowered that shoulder, Nick Honor was getting in the paint.
He's got them Kyle Lowry hips, as I like to say.
I believe Jimmy Dykes called him a fire hydrant. Is
bowling ball? He said that too.
Called him
said both.
What is a fire hydrant of a basketball player? Like, what does that even mean?
Spray everywhere.
Is that it? I thought it was more the build, but hey.
We'll leave it at that.
Good for him.
We'll leave it at that. Good to see you, Missouri.
Should we talk about Justin Edwards?
Right? Oh, that's right. Let's get back to basketball real quick before this rapid reaction leaves. We're not being exactly rapid. Talk to us about Justin Edwards. It was not good, and then there was a little good, and we want more moving forward, right?
Yeah, I think we even said in maybe the last rapid reaction we had here at Illinois State, or after that game, where we were like, we're getting to the point where every time Justin shoots a 3, we're all like, please, please, please go in. He had one where he banked it off the side at the first half, and this was, I think, the first time of the season where you could see him visibly getting upset, like at himself on the sidelines, keeping his head down, players having to kind of come over and pump him up a little bit. And
Tyler Eulis had to switch seats to sit by him to kind of get him going.
And Cal was even talking about that in the post game, where it's like, you can't be, your body language reflects how you're going to play. So you can't be in your head, you can't be down, like you just got to keep passing or trying to pump through it and get through it. And Cal did say that he's like, in a month from now, you all will be surprised at how good Justin Edwards is. And if that ends up being the reality, Kentucky's going to be very, very good, because we just talked about 5 or 6 players who can all score 20 points on a given night, and we didn't even mention the guy who actually came in as the top-ranked recruit in the class.
Yeah, he came in the second half, scored 4 pretty quick points. Honestly, we all have our favorites, but right now I'm getting behind him because they just need him to get going. He needs to get going. When he sat down, I don't think this made it to TV, but he pulled his jersey over his head. I mean, you could tell he was really hurting after he hit the backboard on his 3-point try. Got to get Edwards going. Just feel for him. We know there's so much more in there, and he'll find it, but the season's moving on. He's got to get it going soon. But we're going to move on. Like I said, Cats won 90-77 right behind us. Got to see a fun Missouri team put up a challenge, but Kentucky's still undefeated and controls their own destiny in the SEC. We were going to have Steven come over here and talk about parking because he feels very strongly about that. We'll catch that next time on the Rapid Reaction. For now, subscribe, comment, do all those fun things. Watch Sources Say when he fires that up next. A little floppy action, all the cool things we have going on the KSR YouTube channel. We appreciate you being here watching with us. Now we're going to go do a little more writing. We might end up sleeping in Rupp Arena. It's already pretty late here and we have a lot of work to do. So we're going to get going. Good talking to you. Go Cats. Love you. Have a good night.
Go Krogering.